Welcome to Dicta, your weekly dose of law school and bar exam info. I'm Carrie Ann.
And I'm Puyan, and we're the co-founders of Vinco. In this episode, we're going to discuss how do you know if you need a bar exam tutor, or even a law school tutor, or a tutor in life generally.
No, we're just going to talk about how to know if you need a tutor for the bar exam, but that's okay. Maybe we can have another episode on if you need like a life coach or a mentor generally. But I think I might have a little bit of authority to talk about when someone really needs help or not.
Well, I, throughout law school, would have never considered a tutor, even though I probably needed one. How would I know if I needed one?
So I've identified 3 different sort of categories of people or issues that people have that if they think this is their weakness, they could probably benefit from having a tutor. So the first one is if you need accountability to do things. So how do you know if you need accountability?
I needed accountability.
Right? Were you always waiting until the absolute last minute to do your assignments, to write your briefs, to do your practice questions, to do your outline? Okay. And I think that you probably would have fallen into that category just knowing you now. Mm-hmm. So if you're that person, if you are always freaking out about the deadline approaching and you not being prepared, you need someone to keep you accountable, keep you on schedule, keep you on task, and kind of give you a kick in the ass. So if that's your main thing, you could probably benefit from working with a tutor. The second thing is if you have some sort of skills-based issue. I can't do multiple choice questions. I don't understand IRAC. My professor keeps writing, this is not analysis on my papers. I don't even know what an MPT is. Okay, so if you have some sort of skills issue, that is something that if you haven't figured it out on your own yet, you probably need someone's help to figure that out.
So I probably did have a skills issue at some point, and I just couldn't identify it. I didn't know I had a skills issue, even though what you just said, all those signs were there, you know.
It didn't resonate.
I thought, I'll do it differently next time, but I didn't improve.
Most people don't think I'll do it differently. Most people think I didn't do enough. And usually
that's actually what I thought.
Not I didn't do enough. It's usually I need to do something differently, that I need to make a change. And that's what someone else who is good at their job can help you figure out. What is that change that you need to make? But, you also didn't have this lovely episode of Dicta that you were going to watch on YouTube and know that you might have a problem. But how to be self-reflective is look at comments on papers that you've gotten back. Look at where did you struggle on exams? Was it always multiple choice? Was it a combination? Were you running out of time? All of those things can indicate that there's a skills reason that you might need some extra help. The third thing has to do with stress management, anxiety management. If you are that person who is terrified of taking the bar exam, I mean, not just in the way that everyone is scared and that can't eat, can't sleep, I am terrified of the bar exam, you could benefit. And with a caveat, I will say you could benefit from working with a Vinco tutor for sure, because that is a heavy focus of what we do. I don't know if all good tutoring services will help you with your skills, will help you, be accountable. But this is definitely somewhere I know that we shine and is something we put a lot of time and effort into.
Yeah, you put a lot of focus on like self-care and stress management, which I think distinguishes you a little bit.
Yeah, because we talked about, and you can go look for our bar exam triangle video, which it's not really a triangle, it's more like a rectangle. But if you have the knowledge, if you have the skills, if you have your timing under control, but you can't get out of your own way because you're so stressed out, you are not going to pass the bar exam. So I don't focus on it because I like it and it makes me feel good. I focus on it because there's a real reason that students are failing the bar exam. So if that is your issue, if you have felt like you've struggled with that on exams, like you knew the material, you finished it, but you were spending more time worrying about how you were going to do than what you were writing about, that could be a really good situation to work with a tutor. And then the other thing I say is if you're sort of like, okay, I'm very self-motivated, I've always gotten my stuff done on time, I have a pretty good GPA, my skills are where they need to be, I have a good strategy for multiple choice, my professors are writing great IRAC on my papers, and you kind of feel well adjusted about the test, and you're just sort of like, I'm a little nervous about how I'm going to memorize all that law, maybe you don't need a tutor, right? Private tutoring is not for everyone, and he's probably seething with anger as I'm sitting here saying, like, how to know if you don't need to work with me.
Now I'm beginning to realize I needed a tutor.
So, it isn't for everyone. So if your main concern is, like, a lot of law, your bar review company has probably got you covered with that. I definitely do some substantive law review, but in my experience, that is most people's strengths, being able to memorize the law. You made it through 3 years of law school.
Yeah.
So hopefully this video helped you to maybe identify if you could use some extra help for the bar exam or not, right? You only want to do this once if it's in your control to do so. And if you really feel like you fall into one of those categories, email me, carrieann@vincoprep.com, and I'd be happy to help you try to figure out what's the best decision for you.
See you guys next week.